Hello, so if you are clicking on this video, obviously by the title, you are most likely female or know someone that has lost their period due to one or two extremes. Now the reason I'm breaking this down into these two categories is because these are the two biggest fads that are going around, or these are the two categories that a lot of people fall into. As a vegan, I know that there is a lot of exposure to the one side, but then I know in the other side there is a larger growing trend with the whole keto thing, which by the way, I think is great and everything, but let's just break down what the two extremes can actually, how they influence your period. And then make your own decisions, completely up to you, but just know why certain things are happening and maybe how to combat that. So firstly, we have the whole high carb, low fat fad. Now this high carb, low fat is it's very prominent in veganism. As a vegan, when I first went vegan, I was like bananas, nuts to the devil, no oil, nothing. But it was pretty much also when you do go vegan and you stop eating things like dairy and you stop eating things like meats, they naturally have a lot of fat in them. And a lot of the people as newer, when you haven't been as educated in the micronutrients of things, you don't know where to compensate that loss of fat from. Now, your body needs fat to store hormones. How does your body have a period? It's by a hormone production and hormone transference. It's hormone transportation. Hormones are the trigger, the cause of periods. Now, if you completely diminish this fat supply, what you're doing is you're losing the body's ability to store and to produce and to hold these specific hormones. So what the big takeaway from this is, know where to compensate. If you've cut a large fat source out of your diet for ethical reasons, whatever, something bloats you, you don't want to have something, unless you find a way to compensate, it doesn't matter what your personal body fat percentage is. It's what your body can utilize, pretty much resources. As in, you can have a ton of money in the bank, but if someone comes to your house and was like, no, I need cash, I need liquid money, you can't give something you don't have. Whew. I spoke really quickly. I was like, boom, 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 boom. If you didn't catch any of that, damn phone. You know what? The one time you don't silence your phone is the one time you get messages. I am so sorry if that is distracting, but it's not even probably anyone interesting, which is really mean. If it is an interesting person, very sorry. Fine. So the next thing I'm going to focus on is why cutting out carbs causes us to lose our period. So carbs are the body's main source of fuel, of energy, of quick functioning energy. And that's why you'll notice there's a big trend with the whole keto diet. You'll see the whole Atkins, as in everyone's like high fat, low carb. Yes, that is brilliant for people training for a specific type of event or whatever it is, whether it's bodybuilders, whether it's long distance athletes. I know that there's been a lot of research showing that they do end up performing better in the long term. Now, the problem with this is if you only have fats and you don't use carbs, you've heard of the keto flu, as in you'll start to become very fatigued. Your body physically does not have the energy to create a period, to transport these hormones, to keep things running. What it does is it shuts down certain systems and organs that are not vital to survival, as in that extra energy it has from the minimal amount of carbs or whatever it can break down from fat is going to go to something like circulation, to your heart, to your lungs, and then less important organs are actually going to stop to function. They are not going to receive that energy. Hence the reason that you'll notice when people go on detoxes or cleanses, they actually do it to repair the body by conserving energy, as in it takes a lot of energy for your body to digest foods. So then what these things do, like these cleansing retreats, is it actually helps your body conserve that energy by having, whether it's a liquid juice cleanse, whatever people are doing out there. By the way, I do not agree with that, but totally different kettle of fish. So now this extra energy is used to repair the body. Now this is happening in vice versa if you don't have any carbs. You don't have that energy to repair the body, to support these functions, these systems, like having a regular period, having regular bowel movements with this whole toxic elimination. Such sexy talk, right? Periods and bowel movements. Hashtag you should date me. And so, yeah, that is the other big cause. So the big key to take away from this is moderation. If you have started maybe living more of a high-fat lifestyle diet and you've lost your period, that is most likely the reason. If you've started a high-carb, or maybe you've recently changed your diet, that's the hot water heater that does that all the sicking time, all the friggin' time. Or if you've gone to a high-carb diet or you've just become vegan, then you know that that is why your body is unable to have a period. So it's all about moderation is key. Yes, if you need quick results and you have a wedding that you're working towards, or if you have a specific show or competition, or you have a vacation that you're going to, just know that long-term changes will affect the body, like this lack of period, and it's going to take your body a long time to stabilize again. If you think about it, 4 months to 6 months on these certain restraints is when you start noticing your period stopping. So think about it, it's going to take literally 6 months to 8 months for your body to restabilize itself once again, once you make these changes, and you're probably going to have to overcompensate because you've depleted your fat storage system so much, or you've depleted your carb storage. For your body to actually get used to using those again when you integrate it back into your diet, it's going to take just about a bit more of time. Remember, it loses the ability to remember how certain functions are made. It loses that efficient mode of transportation system. If you do something continuously every day or as often as you possibly can, you'll notice it's a very easy task. It's efficient. You get used to doing it. But same thing happens on the other hand. If you stop doing something for a while, for example, fun fact, I would speak fluent French. But then when you get out of that immersion, when you stop speaking French for a while, then all of a sudden you go back to Mauritius, your family's speaking in French, and you're like, what? No, Siri, what did they say? So that is how that happens too. So make the changes. Obviously, always consult a doctor, get testing done, know exactly where your body is at. Knowledge is power, according to Jack, Science Lesson 101. No, that would be philosophy. I don't know who said knowledge is power. Not the point. So I hope this was really helpful. I'm sure you probably have some questions that have been answered, or you have a lot more, or maybe you want some advice. If so, if you would rather I make different videos for fat and carb and how to pretty much reverse the changes that you've made, leave a comment down below and I will definitely get back to you. You can always follow me on Instagram. I like to post a lot of recipe ideas to help live that balanced nutritive. This is what happens when you try and speak too fast. That balanced lifestyle, and I finally launched my website, www.jaxfinucci.com, or is it jax.finucci? It's jaxfinucci.com. So I will be vigilant to update everything with that. I hope you guys have an incredible day. I hope I didn't speak too quickly. If I did, it's a curse. It's a curse, it's a gift, it's everything. I'm very, very sorry. I just had so much to get through and didn't want to bore the crap out of you. So have an amazing day. Mwah.